Alright, so I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a tour of what this thing looks like so far. And just kind of wanted to give you a little breakdown on how I created a lot of these videos on how to create this augmented reality experience. So first things first, we're going to start off with the lighting, and then we'll kind of move into the hardware, where things are located, and how I created the roll cage and different components and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing I really want to point out is this aperture studio lighting, and what this does is help replicate the interior lighting that you see on the inside of the cockpit. So a lot of this is controlled with the RGB, our application control. You can change the RGB 7800K to the lumens, and this is all done through an application on my iPhone, so that if I am sitting in the seat here. Also, a really neat feature of what this light does, this honeycomb texture on the tip helps evenly distribute the light so that no hard shadows. So that if my hand is sitting right here, obviously there's no super hard lines. It evenly distributes the light across what you see here in the cockpit. So it really helps replicate that cinematic view that you guys can see in the videos. Another really cool aspect is the roll cage that you guys see here. A lot of this inspiration from the actual roll cage itself did come from Race Beyond Matter. Now, as far as how I replicated the cockpit and the side flooring, this was a little bit more tricky. And I did also, there was no preset dimensions for any of this. I had to really eyeball and see what this looked like in relation to a few of the guys' videos that I saw, Race Beyond Matter, once again, shout out to him, and how to replicate this process of the actual flooring itself. So what I did was get more cardboard and display board, and as you can see, a lot of it, it's not fancy, man. So as you can see, it's literally just cardboard. In fact, I have the dimensions in my head, so it is 17.5 inches wide from the shifter, and the rest of it is 11.5 inches tall, and the entire length is 36 inches. Now, it's really important to note that I was also saying to my buddy, you can add pretty much whatever you'd like, but you want to make sure that it begins to angle like you see right here where the fire extinguisher begins. So as soon as you start to see that angle, you'll be able to kind of get this feel from where you're sitting, roughly right here as you look over, how the floor looks in relation to the cockpit. Now obviously if you're sitting here, you're not just staring at it, but as you're turning, you kind of get this feel of what it really looks like as you're driving. Another really important thing to note is how I mounted my Philips Hue Light System. So I created this angle in the display board where everything would line up accordingly, so that when I angled them inside of here, this area right here would just be like the ass end of it pushing forward, and this is angled at about a 40-45 degree angle so that it's facing towards the cockpit. And the main reason for the blinders, you don't get this glare off the monitors, and that's another thing that I was running into. So if you don't have these blinders up or anything safeguarding where this light is being distributed, what's going to happen is you're going to get a glare off these monitors. Same thing is replicated with the process on this side as well. Give that perfect atmosphere, right? So that's pretty much it for the light system. Also, I guess the last thing to note for this immersive experience is the roll cage and then the side nets. So what the side nets do, as I'm driving, sometimes my seat will move just a little bit, and what that does is it kind of replicates this shakiness to almost like a real vehicle, so that when you turn, you kind of turn into things. This also kind of flexes and moves. That's pretty much it. To replicate this process, I highly recommend to check out Race Beyond Matter's YouTube channel, and he has some incredible guides on there for you guys to check out. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time.